key characteristics of every team member here at Engage is that they're value-focused problem solvers that put the customer first. If the person who's doing it a little different is overperforming, maybe they're doing something that is a little bit better than what you've coached them in the first time, and
Yeah.
maybe they could coach the team to do something a little bit differently.
Welcome back to the Built for Profit podcast. I am thrilled today to have Mr. Dean on the call today. We were chatting just briefly before we clicked record about how he's serving people in the home services industry. Can't wait to dive into that, as well as coming from the outskirts of Philadelphia. But Dean, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Super excited to have you here. And really just to kick us off, can you just let us know who Dean is? How did you get to where you're at today? And how did you get into the whole building this software, massive organization that you're building?
Austin, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it. How far back do you want me to go? So when I was a wee lad, no, kidding. So little bit about me. So I started as a classroom teacher. I've told this story a lot of times, and I moved into the business world when I realized that I just had a lot of aspirations that I couldn't fulfill within education. I absolutely love my time in education. I hope maybe someday to go back and be a teacher. A lot of what I did in the tech field, though, was teaching business owners about technology. So I worked for a
Sure.
bunch of big companies, moved through all those companies, and got to a point about 9 years ago now where I was working for Apple, and I was looking at my next step, and I was like, you know what? I was working with a partner channel and a bunch of startup software companies. I'm like, that looks really interesting. And I said, I'm going to try it. So I had the opportunity to come over to where I am now, where we built a business transitioning a company from being a digital agency to a software business. What I've learned through business is you pretty much don't know what you're doing until you're actually doing it. So we took a lot of learnings from, jobs along the way, but have been building this software company for the last 9 years and really have exited that transition phase probably 5, 6 years ago, where we're now selling in the home improvement industry, but helping them be really amazing salespeople when they're selling you home improvements.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. Okay, before we dive into kind of what you're doing now, I love
Yeah.
the history, love the school teacher mentality, just investing in the younger generation. Love that so much. And then I'm curious how you saw a digital agency and then made the decision to say, let's convert that into a software company. So can you walk us through, like, was that the intention when you first, like, do you say y'all bought the digital agency, or how y'all went through that process and then the conversion there?
Yeah. So at the time, I was actually at Apple, and we were part of a team that brought iPhone, iPad to the business market. And we were
Yep.
building out a partner channel in order to sell more iPads. Let's be
Okay.
clear. We were at Apple, we wanted to sell more hardware.
Yeah.
And we were working with all kinds of different companies, huge Fortune 500 companies like IBM and Salesforce, but also a lot of smaller ISVs or independent software vendors who
Yeah.
we thought added great value to the iPad platform, to the Apple platforms. And the company that I'm at now, Scroll Motion, was building very bespoke custom experiences for iPads. So things like the program for the Super Bowl, they built it. They built launch materials for the Chevy Volt. They built apps experiences for pharmaceutical reps when they went into a doctor's office in order to pitch them in the 60 seconds they might have between appointments.
Yeah.
And as an Apple person, we looked at the technology they had, and we were like, what if everyone who had an iPad could build that level of interactive experience right on their iPad? And we convinced them, because they were doing this, but it cost hundreds of thousands of dollars
Oh,
to
yeah.
build these custom things.
Yeah.
We said, well, what if you took the software that you're building this on and built an actual product that Austin and Dean's and the Cindy's and the Kellys of the world could actually go and build that same amazing experience that you're building for the Super Bowl, for the NFL, for Apple, for IBM? Like,
Wow.
what would that look like?
Yeah.
So we started the process of talking to them about building that software. And then they recruited 2 of us over to come and help them actually make that real and
Yeah.
pivot the company from this bespoke design agency
Yeah.
to a full-fledged software company.
Yeah, that's fascinating, man. I love just the big vision, I think, behind that. I think that's so cool to be able to just say that this could serve a lot of people. And so you mentioned earlier that y'all, you kind of get into the ideal state where you're at the kitchen table inside homes all across America. So I'd love for you to kind of dive in to say, okay, 9 years in, what does that look like? Who's your ideal client? Who y'all like targeting to like really let this platform or this software that y'all have built shine? And then also kinda explain a little bit too, what are you dreaming about in the future? I know you mentioned possibly getting into door-to-door knocking. So,
Yeah.
can you kinda walk us through ideal clients and how y'all serve people?
Totally. So what's interesting is we never set out, we built this software to serve the market that we're serving today, right?
Wow.
We actually did it backwards. If I had to, don't tell all my investors, but at the time we thought we had the idea of we could serve everyone in the market with interactive content. What we realized is about 4 years into building the platform, we had the bones of what we thought was a really great piece of it, software that could help you build interactive experience for an iPad.
Yeah.
What we failed to think through was the specificity and the niche that it could serve the most, and we got really lucky. Somebody came into our website for a demo seeking an alternative to PowerPoint, and it was a home improvement company up in Boston.
Okay.
And we learned very quickly that what we provided enabled them to really lock in their sales process to this piece of content so that as they trained on their 7-step sales process, they could ensure that the sales team was going through it in a very methodical way every single time.
Oh,
Because on
cool.
the back end of what we do, we collect analytics on how the content is being used and presented. So it's
Wow.
not like a normal presentation that you might think about where
Yeah.
it's linear slides one at a time. You have no idea how long someone's spending on slide 1 versus 2, et cetera, or
Yeah.
sections of the present with this concept of sections. And we quickly realized we had something here in this market where they're highly trained sales professionals, they're high ticket items that they're selling. There's a great degree of education in what somebody is positioning. And the faster they can educate the consumer, the more likely they are to build their trust and earn their business.
Cool. Yeah. Love that.
So we were like, let's go talk to more home improvement
Yeah.
companies. And before we knew it, we had a dozen, and those dozen introduced us to a dozen more, introduced us to hundreds more. And now we have hundreds of companies using our software to enable their sales team to tell a consistent on brand story at the kitchen table. We have all the tools that it takes to manage who gets what content. If you're in the Northeast or you're in the Southeast, content might be different because houses are different in those different
Yeah.
locations. And then all the analytics on the back end so that sales leadership knows what people are doing in the home, not from a big brother perspective,
Yeah.
but most importantly, to help coach them to be even more amazing.
Okay, Dean, that is so much more powerful than I ever imagined from what you and I initially talking. I mean, like,
Yeah.
the back end data analytics side is something that I just didn't even see coming, I guess, from the platform obviously that y'all built to
Yeah.
really, like you say, coach up to say, like, how do we get a faster speed? I guess, can you tell me the heart behind the data analytics on the back end to coach up? Is it to get to a faster decision when you're at the kitchen table with somebody about, looking at your services, or to give them even greater clarity in exactly how you're providing? Or what is that? Or do you
Yeah.
know, is that mainly on the customer side, or is that, yeah, I'm curious to get your thoughts there.
There's a few things. So a very common practice in the home improvement, home services model is a ride along. So if you're my
Beautiful.
manager and I'm the sales reps in the field, you would spend time consistently coming along with me, and we would both walk into the home, and I would lead and you would evaluate me, and then we'd go off and we'd go to a coffee shop and you would tell me how I did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, one of the things the analytics does is it tells the sales leader at a rep level, who's doing what? Like, how are they delivering that presentation? Does it match what you've taught them to do?
Yeah,
It also allows them to compare reps against each other. So I can stack up 5 reps and I can see the pattern they're going through the content with to see if one person is doing something a little different.
yeah,
And the coaching side of it comes in 2 different ways. Number 1, if that person who's doing it differently is underperforming, you coach them on the right way to do things. If the person who's doing it a little different is overperforming, hmm, maybe they're doing something that is a little bit better than what you've coached them in the first time, and
yeah,
maybe they could coach the team to do something a little bit differently. So I think when you look at analytics, a lot of times it's it can be thought of as a negative. "Oh, you're looking over my shoulder. Oh, you're" it's actually needs to be viewed as an overall net positive because you can get better at your job. And in the sales world, if I can help you go from 35 to 40% close rate, what does that mean for your commission? What does it mean for the bottom line of the
Absolutely.
company? All of those things are metrics that we help them track.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to phrase the back end analytics because it's improvement for everybody. Everybody wins, right? When you do it the right way.
That's right.
That's a beautiful thing. So I'm curious, how how much of a plug and play model is it for the different industries that you're in when somebody's like, okay, I am a contractor that does bathroom remodels in the Boston area. I want to start using this thing now. Can you walk us through that process of like how do they go from never using it into they're using it consistently on the sales team inside of being at the kitchen table?
Oh my gosh, there's so much there. I'll give you the so a lot of it depends on the buy-in from the customer. Like, we'll
Okay.
meet people at a conference, and they'll see the beautiful content that we have for those, and we have a whole template marketplace of stuff that they can use as starters. So, getting up and running is actually not too bad. Usually within 30 days, if someone's starting from scratch, we can get them with the content that they need, with their team, trained, ready to go, and up and running.
Wow.
But a
Okay.
lot of it depends on their readiness with assets to make their presentation, their content unique to their business. A lot
Yeah.
of people we see don't have pictures of past work. They don't have great before and afters. We have this real cool technology where you can very easily drag and drop and create a before and after. So I can say, this is what the bathroom looked like before, slide my finger, or the customer can slide their finger and
Yeah.
see the
Yeah.
reveal of what it looks like now. That's a limiting factor for a lot of people. So we have partners that can help them, either take new images or use stock photos. But getting up and running is all about effort. How
Yeah.
much effort is the company willing to and able to put in, and how much, and we're, because we're there to help them through that onboarding journey from the beginning. We also have partners who can help them build that content for them. What we've heard from a lot of folks in the industry is, I'm really good at replacing your bathroom. I am not really good at creating content.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you do it for me? So we have in true home improvement parlance, we have a DIY and a DFY model. We have a do it yourself and we have a done for you model where we can
Yeah.
help them get up and running. So whether it's our templates or our partners, we can help people go as fast as they want to go.
Yeah, that's so awesome, man. I love that. And so, can you speak a little bit to where you feel like the company's headed, what y'all are dreaming about? You know, you talked a little bit about going to door to door. Is there other industries that y'all haven't tapped into yet that you feel like y'all's service could very much do an excellent job in? Can you kind of speak us? What are y'all dreaming about?
Yeah, sure. I think this is true for any business. If you have a problem that you solve and you look out in the world, there's tons of places that you feel like you could go.
Yeah,
It's actually one of the hardest things to do is to say no to going to all 10 of those at the same time and
yeah,
being really regimented in the approach of how you're going to expand your business.
yeah,
I believe there is a massive upside in what we do just in the home services, home improvement space. Our
yeah,
software is extremely powerful and could be used in financial services, automotive, insurance. There's tons of places. Our focus, though, is every home and every project. So if you think about a home, and right now we do really well with exterior remodeling. We do great with bathroom replacements. We do well with concrete coatings. Well, there's a lot of other things that happen around the home: HVAC, plumbing, asphalt, landscaping, where we're
yeah,
not really present today because the sales process is very different for those types of things around the home.
yeah,
So we're looking at additional use cases either at the front end of the sales process and how they set appointments and generate leads, all the way through to the back end of the process where they're delivering.
oh
And
wow,
we
okay,
believe there's a big enough business around the home where we can have significant upside in what we
yeah.
do.
That is interesting. I'm curious, what are y'all thinking about post sale? You said y'all are looking at potentially having something even up to delivery
Yep.
and how y'all software benefits home service industries then. So can you kind of speak to what that would look like?
Yeah, so what's great about having as many customers as we do, they push us to our limits beyond just that kitchen table conversation. So we have companies today who at the beginning of the conversation are using our software at the front door when they knock and are trying to set an appointment. It's
Yeah.
a very different client experience. It might be a phone, it might be a small tablet. We're not going through a detailed, this is the process we use to replace your roof and, going through all that. The goal at the front door is to get to the next question and have them not close the door in your face, right?
Yeah.
So that content is very, very different than what we're doing at the kitchen table. On the back end of the process, it could be something as simple as, thanks for meeting today. I know you didn't sign, but here's a piece of content that might help you understand our value proposition as you're gonna probably bring 3 more people like me in your house
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
get 3 more estimates. Well, guess what? We have analytics on that too. So I send you that follow-up content. I know that you went to page 4 and spent 3 minutes on the
Right.
red front door option. Right? So follow-up content. You purchased. How do I get a referral from you? Some content around referrals. Uh, I'm delivering for you, and I just installed this amazing new tub surround with this incredible glass. How do you care for it? What's my
Yeah.
warranty? So there's a whole bunch of stuff that follows the original sale and then the installation and delivery that content plays a role.
Yeah.
That's why I like to talk about our company not as a presentation software company, as much as it's a content company, and we
Yeah.
wanna help you at all parts of that customer journey.
Yeah. That is fascinating, Dean. I love the analytics behind all of that to custom cater it to each of the customers' experiences is just so fantastic. I love it. Okay, so tell me a little bit, obviously, as y'all are building, 9 years in, continuing to build, going into additional spaces. What do you feel like things that you have great momentum in right now versus what are things that you maybe feel like is a bottleneck in your business of things that y'all need to kind of raise the lowest slat in the bucket type thing?
Yeah, we could probably talk about AI at any time in the conversation, right? It's
Yeah.
where can we leverage technology to improve the efficiency of people is a big as I look at the bottlenecks in our business, I'm always looking at because I'm a little bit of a nerd at heart, and I always want to make sure we're using our people resources to the most impactful way as possible.
Yeah.
So, how can I leverage technology to scale my people?
Yeah, it's good.
Not that I don't want more people. I'll take as many people as our business can support, but I want them doing the highest and greatest use of the talent that they bring.
Absolutely.
I I wholeheartedly believe that technology plus people is greater than people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And technology is not greater than people.
Yep.
Technology plus the human that is operating that technology makes them more effective. So as I look at the bottlenecks in our business, it's not just technology is going to solve it, but if I can offload 80% of what someone does with technology to make the 20% that they bring to the table 100% more valuable,
Yeah.
the equation works every single time.
Great way to say it. Yeah, that Dean, I love that so much, and I think that's where I want people to hear that phrase over and over and over again because this is the world that we're walking into, but I love the thing is technology is not greater than people, and it never will be.
Nope.
But to get all of the stuff that people don't need, like I feel like the Lord gave us this powerful thing between our head that is called the brain, right? And
Mhm.
we have the ability to be creative and do all these, things that just can really wow people's experiences and pursue excellence and all these different things. And anytime we're doing just things that a repetitive machine could potentially do, it's taken away from the powerful thing that the Lord gave us to go do every day.
That's
And
right.
so I love that phrase of people is always better than technology, but it's the leverage of both to get you in your sweet spot.
Yeah.
I love it. That's fantastic.
I
So
think
for
it's
you,
especially
go ahead.
with AI, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, AI, AI." Okay, great. AI can replace certain tasks, but without the human in the middle, AI is only a piece of technology.
That's right. So good. I love it. So from your like when you back into okay, how do I get people to leverage technology more and how do we get people into their sweet spot? And really all things around your company, are there specific metrics that you go back to when you look to say, okay, our business is on track to the goals that we're trying to achieve, it's possibly off track. And you kind of speak into some of those metrics that you're looking at? Is it profit driven? Is it lead driven? Is it people utilization driven? Speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so when I look at it, it's driven by the success that we're creating for our customer.
Cool.
So one
Love
of our core values is being customer first. So it's value-focused problem solvers who look at the customer as the center of what we do. That is our core mission and vision and value. That's the core values right in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So if I'm not helping my customer increase their close rate or increase the average ticket that they're selling for, I'm failing them.
Yeah,
So we measure our team on our ability to deliver that value to the customer. So if my product team is not delivering the features, or if they're struggling with certain features because they're not discoverable or easily used, we're going to look at the that part of the flywheel to understand the impact on our ability to execute. If
yeah,
our onboarding team is taking more than the allotted time that we believe it should take to get somebody up and running on our platform and finding value, we're going to look at that constraint. If our sales team is closing customers that end up failing, we have to go back to the sales team to understand, how did you sign this person in the first place? What's going wrong in our sales process?
yeah,
If our sales team is getting demos from marketing that are not actually converting, don't show up, we have to go look at whether our marketing is on point. Because
yeah.
at the end of the day, we want our customers to make more money because they used our software.
Yeah, 1000%.
Very simple equation.
Yeah,
That is the lagging indicator of success. We have to look at all of the things that lead up to that in order to ensure that the flywheel we're creating, which goes from marketing to sales to customer success to product to finance, who's actually going to collect the money,
yeah.
can have enough money to put back in the marketing engine at the beginning and keep that thing going.
That's so good. I love that you use the term flywheel because it is just such a great way to phrase exactly this momentum machine that you can build, that every point funnels itself back to the original point,
Totally.
and can drive that growth. I love that so much. Can you repeat your core value statement one more time? I think that was powerful. I'd just love to hear it one more time.
Yeah, we are value focused problem solvers that are customer first. Three three very important, what we call our key characteristics. So the key characteristics of every team member here at Engage is that they're value focused problem solvers that put the customer first.
Yeah, that's so good. And I'm curious from y'all for keeping the team aligned. Have you figured out a rhythm in your business, whether it's Monday meetings or quick huddles, or like, I'm just internally, how do y'all keep those vision and those values aligned
Oh
from the whole
man,
team?
I love this question. So we it's been a journey. Like any company, you try things and you're like, that didn't work. We used to have, weekly company meetings that were an hour long, and they all of a sudden felt forced. And oh, what are we going to talk? We have anything to talk about this week? It wasn't the right rhythm. So we've recently, probably in the last 6 months, switched to monthly company meetings on
Yep.
Tuesdays. We have Wednesday is our quote unquote meeting day, internal alignment, call it internal alignment, right? So we start with our leadership team meeting in the morning, and then every team has an individual team meeting in the afternoon.
Okay.
One-on-ones happen on Tuesday or Thursday, depending on the team. What I've found is when you mandate something from the top down across every line in the business, it doesn't always work for everyone. Maybe it's better to align after on Thursday, after the Wednesday meeting, because that role, that part of the business just does better with the information flow that way. Whereas some, it flows better on the Tuesday before. We let people pick and choose what's best for their team. I
Yep.
like moving to the Wednesday alignment day. You basically reset Monday to Wednesday, it's totally fine. But what it does is everyone can come in Monday morning with a lot of stuff that they can actually do.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
don't show up at work on Monday morning, and it's the alignment day, and no one can get started until that day happens.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? So if you're on the West Coast, and we have people all over the US,
Yeah,
that's fine for you because you wake up and it's noon, that's great. But what about all those East Coast people who are waiting till the alignment session at noon? What are they doing for the morning? Not that they don't have work to do, but it just sets a different tone.
yeah,
Also, very tactically, when are most US holidays? They're on
yeah.
Mondays.
Mondays. That's a
So
good point.
then if all of a sudden you gotta reshift all the alignment meetings to a different day of the week on all
Yeah,
those weeks, it just makes it easier if they're on a Wednesday.
yeah.
So very tactical, application as well.
Okay, I'm very curious by this because you're kind of convincing me otherwise. We have always done our team alignment meetings on Mondays to set the tone for the 5-day work week that's ahead of us. So when you do them on Wednesdays, do y'all just pretend that the focus to get things done is from basically Thursday to the following next Wednesday to get
Yeah.
to get aligned?
Just shifts it, right? What's great is, and what the biggest win, and we shifted to Wednesdays probably 3 months ago. almost to a person, everyone says, "My Mondays are so much more productive now because
Yeah.
I know what I need to do."
Yeah.
So I
Okay,
show up
let's
on Monday, I'm not worried about the report I have to write or the how I have to check in. I'm literally just starting Monday with a fresh sheet that I created on Friday that I know these are the things I can accomplish on a Monday.
yeah. Okay, Dean, I'm glad you told me this, man. I'm gonna do a little research. We might be pivoting as well.
And I stole it from somebody else, right? I think
That's
all of this, we're all trying to figure out business a
that's
little
right.
bit at a time, right? So I had a
Yeah,
great mentor, Mark Bradley. I was talking to him and I was like, Mark, what do you do? I'm struggling. I don't think we're operating as efficiently as we can. And he told me his structure and I basically copied it. So,
yeah.
rob and duplicate as much as you can.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing new under the sun, right? You just gotta go figure out who's winning and repeat.
That's right.
That's good. Okay, so I'm curious, obviously diving in, your customer focus, I love the values, the customer focus. Is y'all's, like, I guess, thought process in businesses, as long as our customer wins, profit takes care of itself? Or do you have other metrics to make sure that you are pricing correctly and utilization of the labor and the software coming in to make sure that you are protecting profit in the business? Or can you kinda speak to
Yeah.
how do you prioritize profit?
It we are a SaaS software company, right? SaaS meaning software as a service.
Yeah.
We are investor funded. Our goal is to grow the company and then either go public, grow by acquisition, sell to a strategic. There's lots of exit strategies for a company like ours.
Yep.
It's not always about profit as much as cash flow.
Got it.
So
Great
you
difference.
want to minimize the amount of investor capital that you need to take in, right? And
Mhm.
in our current phase, we don't want to take more investor capital because investor capital is dilutive. So our goal primarily is cash flow and understanding the flow of cash throughout our business so that when we know we might hit that profitable mark, which we are, but we don't want to be too profitable. We want to invest those profits back in the business because if we do that and we see if we add two more salespeople or a salesperson and another inside salesperson, then we can generate this much more cash. We know then think of it as like pods of team members that we have to hire. If
Yeah.
I have a salesperson that's producing X dollars of revenue, I now need a customer experience person who's going to be able to support that. I need product features that support the development of the things. It's a very interesting model in the software as a service world,
Yeah.
but our main metric is cash flow. Like I think any business
Yeah.
is, but it's
Absolutely.
not as important to be putting money in the bank as it is to be growing the business at a really steady rate and maintaining those cash flows.
Yeah. Dean, I love what you said there because I think, especially in the small business world, a lot of people get confused about the difference between profit and cash flow. So, profitable companies are not always cash flow positive companies, you know? And so,
Totally.
you have to know the difference of saying, like, what's the money that's actually coming back in? And I love what you're saying is to say the beauty behind when you have positive cash flow and you understand that, to then understand, can I reinvest this cash as a return on my investment to produce even greater cash down the road, right? Just like
That's
you
right.
talked about with the salespeople. And so I think that's a beautiful thing, and people have to understand, like, you can't keep the lights on in the business if you're not cash flow positive. There's
That's
just no
right.
way,
I mean,
unless investors continue to pay you, right?
you still need to generate a profit because the profit generates cash flow. It's the question is
That's
how
right.
do you deploy that cash? Do
That's
you
right.
save it for a rainy day? Do you return it to your investors? In our world, our goal is to always continue to grow. So we
Yep.
want to look at what lever can I invest that capital in order to grow so that I have more cash to invest in other parts of the business and keep that train rolling.
Yeah, it's so good. I love that so much. Awesome, Dean. Well, cool. Is there anything else that we haven't really talked about today that you're just kind of fired up about or on your heart to speak to today?
No, I love talking. I have this concept, business is business. We sell into the home improvement industry. And as I talk to people who own these home improvement businesses, we have very similar issues, problems, things going on in our business. So I
Yeah.
love talking with anybody who's in business to learn from them first and foremost, and then provide any value that I can, whether I run a SaaS business or a retail business or whatever. I find that concept business is business. You have people problems, you have cash problems, everybody has these problems. We're all trying to figure them out. And I
Yeah.
love getting in rooms with other people who either have figured some things out so I can learn or who are struggling and maybe I have something that I can help them with, which is why I love joining podcasts like this.
Yeah, Dean, that's so good. And I think, so many people fall into the trap to just say, like, well, my business is unique. It's not like your business. But the business is business phrase is a beautiful phrase because everybody deals with the core same issues
That's
no
right.
matter what business you're in. And yeah, I love that so much. Well, cool. Dean, if people want to hear more about you, your company, where's the best place to go find you?
Yeah, I mean, for the company, engage.io. So engage with an INGAGE.io is our website. Check out the product. If there's something that interests you, there's a get a demo button. If it's something that you want to learn more about, our sales team, no pressure, would love to get on and show you. It's a very visual product. So when you go to the website and you start to see the examples, you're like, maybe I want to dive in. Personally, Instagram is the best place to catch me, Dean Curtis 23. And if you want to connect, just say, that DM me Austin, so I know that I came, the connection came from here, so I can give Austin the credit, all credit due for, making that connection happen.
I love it. Dean, that's fantastic. So we'll put all that information in the show notes so people know exactly where to go find you. And man, I just love this conversation. Thanks for teaching me about the Monday to Wednesday shift, man. I think this is
Yeah.
something that we're going to implement. So I always love learning from business owners and what y'all are doing. So I really appreciate you being on.
If I can ever be of service, Austin, just reach out. I appreciate you.
Thanks so much, Dean.